A little bit of a background on me. By trade, I'm a data scientist. So whatever I know about cloud native and cloud migration comes from mostly me building and developing applications within the AI and data science space. I've previously was the data and AI practice lead for Crayon, which is one of the largest global Microsoft partners. I've recently moved to one of the largest government entities in Dubai as chief data scientist. But I do have a lot of experience, with Microsoft technology specifically, but also with a lot of customers across Middle East and Africa, dealing with things related to adoption in terms of innovation. And because innovation these days is pretty much very linked to everything related to AI, and that's, one of the big asks of everybody around. A lot of the innovation that we're seeing around is really driven by what the cloud has enabled in terms of cloud computing, in terms of scalability, in terms of cost cutting, in terms of so many other benefits. So when people ask, why do I need to migrate to cloud, or why do I need to choose the cloud as an enabler for my solutions? Because if you look at some of these examples that we've seen here, they're not necessarily technology-based, technology-first companies. These are companies that are either in the entertainment business or the hospitality or the transport or even the food delivery. I have a few other stories that I could share about some of the startups that I have worked with in the local market. But the point here is that born in the cloud companies have been able to experience how easy it is to disrupt and to innovate by adopting to the cloud. So we see a lot of hesitancy just because security people often do not understand on how data gets shared in the cloud, how data is being kept secure in the cloud. We also hear a lot of news on, on stories of, Microsoft and other cloud vendors for that matter, fending off cybersecurity attacks. Now, my only argument in here is that if you think that is easier for somebody that is trying to hack into you, to hack into your own infrastructure, if you think that it's easier for them to hack into Microsoft and to other cloud providers, then by all means, maintain your own infrastructure. But my thoughts on this, my 2 cents on this is that, the cloud providers have been spending billions in terms of R&D, in terms of solutions, in terms of technology to keep their solutions secure, to keep your data secure. So you're not going to do any better in terms of security than the cloud providers that are out there. So if anybody has problem with security, I would say you're looking at it from the wrong perspective.
It's interesting you spoke about Airbnb and Uber, and if you look at the development stack, I mean, they have about 50 to 75 different applications and so on put in there, and only about 5, 6, 7 of them are proprietary. Everything else is just available out there. So actually building it together, it's almost like a Lego piece that they are actually building it in. And without that cloud capability, that would absolutely not be possible. So that speed to market, I think, is there. So again, going back to my my earlier, the Darwinian thing with the meteor and the dinosaur, is that folks who have built their companies 25 years ago, they think, oh, we have a 25-year-old company and we're doing fine. They are the most vulnerable. So both to you, dear and to Nadine, what do you advise them? One was demystification, and the other one was how do you remove that fear that my company is going to disappear and I won't even understand what the hell it's all about and what am I really now the CEO or the owner of? Nadine, can you quickly comment, because you've seen a lot of this happening and people resisting?
If you're a small business, then you have the advantage of being way more agile and way more open to experimentation than large organizations. It's very difficult to move a beast. And it's very difficult to be able to drive innovation in companies that are riddled by processes and compliance and other things. Not to say that they're not able to innovate. But also, if you are a business that has been established for 25 years and you are doing your classical business, you have your revenue generating products or services that you provide, but you also want to be looking at where you're going to be in the next 5, 10, 15 years and have a long-term plan. The fact that you have been established for that long, it means that you have a history of transforming yourself, because no company can survive for 25 years without having gone through some sort of transformation, either because of technology or because of other factors. We've seen what COVID has done. Now, why wait until a crisis the likes of COVID hits that forces you to transform? Why not be ahead of the curve, or why not try to ride that transformation wave? That's what you talk about, Tarek.
Yeah, I
and
would challenge.
leverage that.
I will challenge you on that because our human instinct, our immune system clicks in, our personal immune system and our corporate immune system clicks in, because immediately we say, oh, it's too complicated and it's too technical and we don't understand it, we are not going to do it. And that actually, so it needs a crisis. It needs urgency to be able to bring about that shift. Otherwise, why would you want to change something if it's still ticking along? So, Adir,
Because
yeah, please, Nadine.
I'm sorry.
No, no,
Because
no.
if history has not taught you that this is imminent, then you haven't learned much.